Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to the Lighthouse podcast. My name is Danny Silva, your host, and today in a special spot right next to me, my co-host and good friend, Alex Camargo. How are you, Alex?
Doing well, doing well.
Today we have the pleasure to speak to a very special guest, and you're going to let me say very special in this one, right? All right, thank you. She's our head broker, and without further ado, I'm going to let you do your introduction. Why don't you introduce yourself and
drum roll.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
No, thank you so much for having me. I'm Marissa Pistritto, and I'm the designated managing broker for eXp Realty and eXp Commercial, and I'm really excited to be here today. So thank you.
Good. Well, welcome. Thank you so much for coming up here and spending some time with us. Tell us how you got to this position. How did you get to be the designated broker for the whole state of Connecticut, right, with eXp?
Absolutely. So my real estate career started out in leadership pretty early. I got my real estate license. I started with a very large independent brokerage, and pretty much within 30 days, I actually started managing brokerages.
Manager material,
something
right off the bat.
I never ever thought would happen, right? Because how do you get started in real estate and that happened so soon? But I do have a business background, and I do have a passion for real estate and people. So I think that just kind of all culminated, and it kind of started from there. So I was with an independent brokerage for a while. You know, that was really great. And then I moved on to Remaxes. So at one point, you know, I had 3 Remaxes that I was in charge of, and then we moved to 8. And It was, right? I know, I feel like we kind of just doubled overnight, and it was such a good learning experience. And then from there, I went to another large independent, because my perspective has always been, I don't care if it's a brand, I don't care if it's an independent, I just think the people and the culture are what makes a brokerage work. So I've kind of been open to trying different things. And most recently at the independent, there was roughly 200 agents across 5 states. So again, a new learning experience now, learning different laws and rules and just kind of how things worked. And then I had really good friends at eXp that said, why don't you come over? I always heard of eXp, right? But it was fairly new company, so I was like, oh, I don't know. When I finally took the time to learn about eXp, I went, holy cow, why didn't I do this before? Like,
that's
no brainer,
right?
no brainer.
It's like that aha moment that you just have, and you're like, what? Where has this been? And I'm like, yes, this is a disruptor.
Yeah.
I'm a disruptor. This is going to be like a good fit. So it actually happened that there was a managing broker position that was open. And I applied for the position, and I got the position. It was wonderful. And then from managing broker position, it was like a happy accident. The DMB position opened. And I just kind of, right, I went right in. And
right place at the right time.
Right, I know. And I feel like I've always been a planner. Like, this is what I'm going to do, and in 2 years I'm going to do this, and in 5 years I'm going to do this. I didn't plan for this, and I feel like it's
Marissa
really
for
true.
president.
Right? Goodness, oh please. But I feel like the second you stop planning is when all the great stuff really happens.
Yeah.
And so now I've just been loving every minute of it, and I don't know where the minutes in my day go, but I'm really excited about them.
That's awesome. So the highest number of agents that you had at one point were 200.
Correct.
And now you jump to?
Yeah, now we're over 600. And I think it's totally possible to make a leap like that if you have the right systems and processes in place. And I think that eXp does a really phenomenal job of providing structure and guidance. So it really made that leap in agents very doable.
Yeah, and we can vouch for that structure from our end as well, because at any point in time that we need to get a hold of somebody, there's always somebody available, you know, and we always put you and your support team on a group text. So even if you don't respond right away, somebody's going to come in and respond to our message. And sometimes it's something that needs to be responded to in a timely fashion, but we always get there, which is awesome. So
there's always someone available. And my perspective has been real estate is never a 9-to-5 business, Monday through Friday, right? Like, we know the magic is really happening at 10 o'clock at night or on the weekends.
On a Sunday.
Right. And I love.
Yeah, you leave your 9-to-5 to go to the 24/7, right?
And I love when I get that text message. It might be like 10:15. Hey, are you awake? I know what that means. That means someone needs help. And I'm like, hey, yes, what's going on? Like, I know what they're about to say. But honestly, if we can help you at any time of the day, like, we want to, right? I mean, Connecticut is only as successful as our agents. So.
Yeah, and I think this whole thing about eXp being a cloud-based company, that's why, like, all eyes on eXp right now. We see, like, all these big names like Grant Cardone and people like that getting involved with the company. Because of that, I believe that we're the only company that is on a metaverse right now without like this was done before even the whole talk about the metaverse, that you know, you go in and you create your avatar and you go into these rooms and you can, you know, talk to people and everything like that. That's such an amazing thing to have, that like not a lot of people, like you said, like when we came into eXp was like what, 300 agents, right?
Yeah,
and it has, yeah, it's been a little bit over a year, and it has doubled now. Yeah. And we see like every week, like, oh, eXp just went into Germany, eXp is just, you know, in Brazil and everything like that. Can you tell me a little bit about, like you said, once an agent takes the time to understand the eXp, they're like, oh, this is a no-brainer. Why is the company like growing so fast the way it is? You know, like for example, in a year, just in our state, like it doubled, and we see like, oh, 60,000 agents, now 70,000 agents, going to 80,000 agents on, if I'm not mistaken, 12, 13-year-old company, right? Or something like that. Yeah. Right, it's still pretty young. And you look at like the big hitters like Coldwell Banker, for example, they over 100 years old and they have over 100,000 agents. What's up? You think, is it because of the way that they set up the higher splits, or is a lot of things combined that all eyes is on the eXp now?
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head. I think there's so many things that are combined. First, we're a limitless brokerage, right? It literally does not matter if you're in Connecticut and then you want to get licensed in Florida. That is a very easy process. So there really are no limits on where you can go. And the fact that people don't have to go into a brick and mortar location, someone could go on vacation or go away for a month in the summer and still work and conduct their business. They don't have to miss a beat. But I think beyond that, we've really set up everyone to have different streams of income, right? Because maybe your thing is sales full time, but maybe in 5 years it won't be. So maybe you're interested in stock options or growing a downline or being a mentor. There are just so many ways that you could build your business and generate income. I think that, you know, realtors especially are really thinking about what's the next thing for me? Like, how do I build an empire? And I think eXp kind of allows you to do that all at once. Whatever catches your interest, there is something for everyone. You can do it all. You can just pick one, but you don't have to limit yourself.
Yeah. And you make a great point with the downline, the person that we joined under, the awesome guy, young guy, Mark Sherrard. We call the company directly and say, hey, we're interested in joining the company. What can you help us with, you know, building out our office, for instance? And the eXp said, no, we don't believe in offices because, you know, we're a cloud-based company. I'm like, okay, we understand that, but Danny and I felt that we needed an office here because we had this passion for teaching agents and coaching agents. Sure. And you know, us being in New England, in small towns, we still have the type of clientele who would like to come to an office every now and then. And until things pick up for the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years, where people are more receptive to, let's just meet at Starbucks instead of meeting at an office, we felt that, okay, let's have an office. And then we felt, you know what, let's not join eXp directly. Let's go find support with with somebody that we can join under. So we found this guy online, and he does a phenomenal job online, and we joined under him, and we get so much support from him. He just celebrated bringing 1,000 agents into the company. It's amazing. Which the three of us know what kind of numbers he's pulling in from that. He doesn't have to sell real estate ever again, and he'll make more money than almost every real estate agent out there. You know, no matter how much they sell, because there's a good opportunity on that stream as well. And then when we talk about our stock options, for instance, I think maybe one of the few bad things about real estate is there's really no exit plan. You get into this career and it's a fulfilling career, but you work a lot. But then at the end, you really have to take money out of here to go do investment somewhere else, buy more real estate, go invest in the stock market, whatever. But you really have to take whatever you make here and invest somewhere else, because the moment you stop working, the business will dry up.
Exactly.
Yeah, but at least with the options that we get in stock, with the stock options that we get here, we can slowly build that retirement plan without even feeling it, because you know it's I get it taken from my commission, and you know, and of course
at a discount.
Yeah, and it's just sitting there. it's sitting there, and I'm like, okay, that's a retirement fund, and that's an additional retirement fund to everything else that my wife and I are doing on this end of things, which is beautiful. I think more companies should spend more time doing that for their agents, considering that agents don't really have an exit plan.
And that's so true. And a lot of agents, as you know, they will grind every day for 30, 40 years, whatever it is. And then they're kind of like, oh no, I should have done these things back when I had the time. And I think that's what eXp is really very good at doing. They've kind of put the agent first and said, okay, if someone loves to sell, great, there's this. If someone loves to recruit and attract, there's this. If someone wants to save for retirement, there's this. So literally, no matter what you want to do, there's options, but you're not forced to do anything.
They really paid attention to the main source of business and income to the company, which is like, if you look at Nike, for example, they really invest a lot of money on athletes, and that's how they're like so successful the way they are. So I think eXp, like, this was a brilliant idea, the way that they came up with, like, we're going to focus on our agents, we're going to give them right off the bat high splits, and they can make money on rev share, on bringing people in. They can make money on stock options, and like you said, being a mentor and everything like that. It just gave people so many options that you're like, how do these people even make money? You know what I mean?
That's
like,
exactly. It must be too good to be true. And honestly, that's what I said. I said, there has to be something here. Because if they're giving all this, what are they taking that I just don't know about? And I literally sat and dissected the eXp model. And I was like, okay, I still have nothing. This is as good as it seems. I am not. I don't know why I didn't do this before.
Yeah. And we felt the same way. But when you consider that the company has no brick and mortar anywhere.
Correct.
The overhead are
no
employees.
Debt. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
As you know, as needed. Right, and if things change, then that could change as well. But of course, the company is going to continue to grow, and basically just operating out of one building. I mean, most employees work from home too, right?
Right.
Yeah, and then just operating out of, like, even in that one headquarters, they don't even have to grow that because employees continue to work from home.
They were smart in the way they structured it so that they could give back to agents versus having to count every penny and be like, nope, it's not going to help our bottom line.
Oh yeah, because if you're renting, 10,000 or 5,000 square feet downtown Boston for an office,
that's a lot of money.
Correct.
That's a lot of money.
That's an agent's.
Sure is.
That's an agent's salary every. That could be a manager's salary every year, based on how much rent they would pay there.
Exactly, and Alex, you made a really good point too about the office space. So what a lot of agents don't actually realize is we have a partnership with Regis too. So for anyone that wants a space, they can just fill out the application and be able to go use the co-working space in any Regis for free as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Oh yeah, I didn't know that. Yeah,
so.
Yeah. Maybe we should call them. Open up a sister office in Florida.
Well, I would volunteer to help set that up.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you once again. That's a wrap, ladies and gentlemen. We're so happy to have Marissa here today. And if you can like, subscribe, and share this message, this channel with someone that might take advantage of this. And we'll be back next week with some great content for you. Take care.